Strength training over 50 can give you a lot of benefits, but if you're doing it wrong, it could derail your progress and cause injury. So in this video, we're going to talk about the 10 most common mistakes that most people make when they start a strength training routine and how to avoid them. Number 1, skipping the warm-up. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is skipping the warm-up. Now, when I was younger, I didn't spend that much time warming up, but as I've gotten older, I need to warm up my body a lot more. And I generally need about 5-10 minutes of warm-up before I actually start doing my workout. The warm-up helps get the blood flowing. It loosens up the muscles, the joints, and it gets the body ready for the workout. When I start warming up, if I'm very stiff, I might get on an elliptical or a bike for about 2-3 minutes just to get the blood flowing in my body. But most of my warm-ups are focused on dynamic stretches. These are active, controlled movements that take your muscles and your joints through their full range of motion. It's not like static stretching where you get into a position and you hold it for a while. Dynamic stretches keep your body moving, and a lot of times they mimic the motions that you're about to perform. For example, they could be things like arm circles or lunges or trunk rotations. Then when I start my first exercise, I'll do 1 to 2 really lightweight warm-up sets. And generally the first set is the empty bar or no weight. And this just gets my body fully warmed up. I've just found that as I've gotten older, the more warmed up I am, the better my workouts are. Number 2, lifting without control. Now this one brings up 2 main issues. 1, lifting too heavy, and 2, using momentum. Both of these can derail your progress and cause you to get injured. Lifting too heavy usually causes bad form. And when that happens, your body starts using muscles that it's not supposed to be using to help you perform the movement. And that also throws off your alignment. And momentum is another issue. By swinging and jerking the weights, you're taking away work from the muscles and just creating more stress on the joints. Both of these limit your results because the muscles are not doing the full workload. Other forces are completing the movements. So here's the fix. Pick weights that you can lift in good form and in control. Slow and steady movements that allow you to really engage the muscles and reduce your chance of injury. It's not about lifting the heaviest weight possible, it's about lifting with intention. Focus on really feeling the targeted muscles working with each rep. And by doing so, you're going to end up getting better results, even if you're using lighter weights. Number 3, neglecting proper form. Having good form is the key to getting stronger and staying injury-free. But when your form is off, your body is out of alignment, your joints and your muscles are being stressed in ways that they shouldn't be, and this could lead to injury. Bad form usually happens when your body goes out of alignment. The trick is to stay in control and to stay aligned as your body goes through the full range of motion. Using proper form means that you know how the exercise works and that you're using the right muscles to actually perform the movement. By focusing on using good form, you're actually keeping yourself safe and you're getting the most out of every rep. And one of the best ways to monitor your form is to videotape yourself. So this way you can see exactly what you're doing when you perform a certain movement. But if you're not sure how to execute a movement properly, take some time and work with a really good personal trainer, someone who can walk you through the detailed specifics of how to perform each exercise correctly. The time you spend with somebody like that would be invaluable long term. It'll save you potential injury and also help you maximize your results for the long term. Number 4, rushing through the repetitions. Another common mistake I see is people just rushing through their sets. They're rushing through the repetitions. And whenever I suggest that they slow things down, the most common response I get is, well, I want to finish faster. Unfortunately, speed doesn't mean that you're going to get the best results. It actually means that you're not working the muscles as effectively as you can. Every exercise has a concentric phase, which means the lifting portion of the exercise. And it also has an eccentric phase, which is the lowering portion of the exercise. For example, if I'm doing a press movement, The concentric is when I'm pushing forward. When I'm bringing the weight back down, that is the eccentric. When I'm doing a bicep curl, when I'm curling the muscle up, that is the concentric. When I'm lowering it, that is the eccentric phase of the exercise. Most people will lift the weight, but then drop it down fairly quickly. But they're losing out on the eccentric portion of the movement. And the eccentric portion of the movement is so important toward building muscle and strength. What you want to be doing is lifting the weight in good form in a controlled manner, but then also lowering it in a very controlled manner. In actuality, the lowering of the weight should be twice as slow as the lifting of the weight. This is going to allow you to get the most benefit from that eccentric phase of the exercise. Focus on quality over quantity. When you slow things down and really focus on the eccentric phase of that movement, you're going to end up doing less reps, but your results are going to be so much better than if you're just rushing through your set. Number 5, doing too much. It's very easy to think that more is better and that by doing more per session or by training more frequently that you're going to get to your results faster. But in actuality, if you're doing too much or training too frequently, you can easily overtrain. So if you're feeling sore from session to session and you don't feel like you've really recuperated, you're feeling tired, you're feeling burnt out, or you've lost some of your motivation to be there, you might be overdoing it. It's important to remember that muscles grow when they're resting, not while you're training them. So make sure that every session has rest days in between so that you're recuperated the next time you go into the gym to work out. Another way you can do too much is by creating unrealistic or extreme type programs. Programs like this are very difficult to stick to long term. You want to make sure that any program that you do is realistic and is easy to integrate into your life, and that it's something that you feel very confident that you can follow on a regular basis. The important thing with any health and fitness goal is that you are consistent with it. So make sure that any plan that you create is something that you feel you can follow on a regular basis. Number 6, focusing only on machines. I use machines in my workouts, but the one thing that they're missing is a key component, which is stabilization. Free weights like barbells and dumbbells and bodyweight exercises train the stabilizing muscles more effectively. And these muscles help mimic the movements of daily living much better. So every once in a while, try swapping out some of those machine exercises with a free weight or a bodyweight exercise. So for example, instead of a leg press movement, maybe you try some squat variation or lunges. Or instead of the chest press machine, you try some dumbbell bench presses. Or instead of the back cable row machine, you use an actual dumbbell to mimic the same movement. So a balanced routine of machines, free weights, and some body weight exercises, I feel is going to give you the best results. Number 7, not listening to your body or recognizing your limitations. Ignoring your medical conditions or injuries or limitations that you may have can create a lot of setbacks and actually lead to really severe injuries. It's important to go to a doctor and find out what you can and can't do. And along with the physical therapist, find out what your limitations are and how you can work around them. And during your workouts, you always want to be listening to your body. If you're getting muscle tightness or muscle tiredness, that's generally normal. But if you get any sharp pains or sharp joint pains, those should not be ignored. Just stop. Or if you're feeling off in some way, like you're feeling tired or you're feeling achy, either cut back on that day or come back when you feel better. Number 8, not knowing what you're doing. If you're going into the gym, you need to know what you're doing. If you don't, you could be just wasting your time, having ineffective workouts, and end up possibly injuring yourself. It's important that when you start doing a regimen, that you understand why you're doing the routine. When you're doing certain exercises, you want to understand how to do the exercises properly and also what muscles they're working. If you're unsure about this, work with a personal trainer just for a few sessions. Let them set up a routine for you with a set of exercises to get you started and to teach you how to perform those exercises properly So this way, when you go to the gym, you're not wasting your time and you're getting the maximum benefits that you can. Number 9, not progressing over time. If you're using the same exercises and you're doing the same reps, using the same weights, all you're doing is setting yourself up for a plateau. Your muscles need to be challenged to get stronger and to grow. And this can be done by using progressive overload. Progressive overload allows you to increase the demand on the muscle over time. And that can be done by increasing the repetitions or the weight or by changing the variation of the exercise just so it makes it more challenging. And even small adjustments like adding 5% more in weight or going for that extra repetition, these help stimulate the muscle and break them out of those plateaus. And it's always great to track your progress. Write down your weights, your sets, your reps, so that you can really see how you're improving over time and how you're progressing. And also, you can identify areas where you might need to kick things up a little bit. The goal here is not to make these huge jumps every week, but instead to consistently be moving forward a tiny bit over time. And finally, number 10, the biggest mistake, avoiding strength training altogether. There's a myth that strength training is only for the young and that it's too risky to start over the age of 50, but it's never too late to start. And I actually have a video on the top reasons why everyone over 50 should be strength training, and I will link that in the description below if you want to take a look at that video. Strength training helps prevent muscle loss, it builds bone density, it improves your balance, all things that you need as you age. Remember, it's not about lifting the most amount of weight in the gym. It's about improving your quality of life as you age. So there you go, the top 10 mistakes and how to avoid them. If you like what I had to say in this video, click the like button, subscribe, stay active, and I'll see you in the next video.